Right, hello everybody. My name is Jaden. I already recorded this video once and then I apparently did something wrong, so bear with me if I have to remind myself if I've already talked about something or not on this recording. But let's start out with me introducing myself. My name is Jaden, he, him pronouns, though I've spent my entire life masking as someone who uses she, her pronouns. It's okay if you get them wrong. It will not be for everyone if you get their pronouns wrong. I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying I won't be mad. I've been here pretty much our whole life. Me and Puffin have been around the longest that we know of. My essential job throughout our life has been to keep us neutral and keep us functioning. So essentially, like, we've had a host in the past who, and I'm not using this as like a clinical term, this totally could be the wrong term, it's just the word that I know to describe it. She would get really manic. And so I would front and bring us down from that. If we are having panic attacks and are at a really low, I'll front and bring us to neutral from that. If one of the littles is fronting and is either getting really hyped up and is going to cause a flare-up physically for us, or is going down into like a meltdown, I front and bring us to neutral. Most of our life, I was really forcing myself into an apathetic state all the time, so I didn't let myself care about anything. I have been working on kind of opening that up since our system's been discovered. But opening myself up to caring about things also has come with some downfalls because I can't do my job as well as I used to be able to. So that's the long and short of me. Today we're going to talk about D.I.D online versus real life D.I.D. Where they differ, why they differ. So I think the one that everyone kind of starts out talking about and that a lot of people get angry about online is the costume changes. And people are like, well, that's not what it's like in real life, and you're glorifying or romanticizing or making a spectacle out of this disorder or whatever. I'm not saying whatever to discount those concerns. I'm just trying to think of the language that people use. It's pretty simple when you break it down. If you see someone doing a TikTok dance online, usually they're going to have a lot of makeup done, their hair done, be wearing a nice outfit or whatever, probably not in their pajamas. Of course, that's not always going to be true, but a lot of the time. It's like that, but with self-expression. This is when you're sitting here alone, even if a lot of people like to be like, well, you're not alone because you're posting this to thousands of people. And it's like, yeah, but when you filmed it, you were alone. You were in a space where you could take the time and decide, okay, yeah, I want to present as myself right now. I want to be able to express myself as myself right now. And like just before doing this video, we were wearing a tank top that was really low cut. And normally day to day, I wouldn't change out of that because I'd just be living my day-to-day life. But now I'm deciding to make a video where I'm going to be talking to y'all. Y'all are going to be watching this. And not only that, y'all are going to be watching this knowing that it's me. I want to feel a little bit more comfortable and like me if I'm actively unmasking and letting you know that it's me talking to you. I want to feel a little bit more like I'm expressing as myself, rather than sitting here and talking to y'all in like a really low cut, loose tank top. Like obviously when people switch daily, you're not going to suddenly switch in and have a whole wardrobe change. That's not going to happen regularly, at least. But there's nothing wrong with people wanting to take the time to put themselves together in a way that feels like them before making a video. And that's not misrepresenting the disorder. No one's pretending like that's how it works daily. And if they are, that might be misrepresenting the disorder. But it's okay. to dress as yourself and to do makeup as yourself and to put a wig on to feel more like yourself before you make a video to thousands of people, letting them know, hey, this is me that's talking to you. Another thing that varies a lot we see between on life and real line, online and real life D.I.D. And that's how long switches take and how long dissociation lasts. And a lot of the time, this is also not necessarily between online and real life. It's more between alone and in front of people or with people or presenting in some way. Like it would be the same if we were just in a group of people talking, or like at the grocery store talking to someone, than in our room alone. When you're in front of people, you're going to force that dissociation to pass. You're going to force that switch to go through or to stop. You're going to try to expedite things. That will often leave you exhausted. Oftentimes with a headache, it doesn't feel good. It's much nicer when you're alone and can just let that sit and let it take its time. And then often dissociation switches can last hours. But when you're online, even if it is like you're in a space where you know that all these people are okay, and you know that, like, I know that y'all know that we have D.I.D, and I know that y'all would probably be totally understanding if we took a long time to switch. If we're on a live stream and we're going to switch and we make the decision not to end the live stream, we're not gonna just sit here and like be comfortable letting it take 2 hours. We're gonna try to actively be like, okay, let's move this through. Like, it's just an internal pressure that we feel to keep it going, because we also feel like we need to be talking to you and we can't just sit there and be quiet and ignore y'all for 30 minutes. Even if you say it's totally okay, it just internally doesn't feel like that. So a lot of what you see online is going to be quicker, and maybe therefore a little bit more startling and a little bit more like noticeable than if it was taking its time and running its course in the normal time frame in day-to-day life, when you're not talking to thousands of people. So that's just kind of a natural thing between being in a kind of presenting, even if it's not masking, like hiding the D.I.D, masking like I'm talking to a group of people, so I have a presenting mask on. It's just, the time frame is going to be different than how it is day to day when we're alone. And talking about time, I did it, and then I just ruined it. I'm really bad at segues. Functioning versus non-functioning time. The reality is, y'all aren't going to see our non-functioning time because we're not going to get a video of it, at least not likely. And when we are in a non-functioning time, if we do somehow happen to plan or be able to like somehow catch it, whether it's just a not really functioning time or whether it's a really low, first of all, it's a lot easier to talk to someone and be like, oh yeah, we had this happen the other day. It was really intense. We had a panic attack, than to show them you in the middle of that panic attack. That's incredibly vulnerable. Brain. Even if we are able to catch those moments and be able to share them with you, the issue is we have tons of people all the time being like, you're glorifying this disorder. You're not showing the negative sides of this disorder. You're not showing us, like, you're just showing us when you're functioning. And it's like, first of all, that's all that realistically we can easily get to you. That is going to take a lot less emotional vulnerability to share. And then secondly, when you are able to somehow catch that and share that, you get attacked like really bad online. The culture online is not a welcoming one to being vulnerable. It's already very vulnerable just to talk about these things, but once you show it, it automatically gets met with doubt, questions about how you were able to catch that on video, doubting that it was real, accusing you of making it up, accusing you of like, oh, well, you don't have enough to be upset about, like, what about these other people? Like, just all this stuff that gets so messy and is attacking you when you're already sharing such a vulnerable thing that it's not something you want to do. So we can talk about it. We do talk about it. We will continue to talk about it all the time, how hard this disorder is and how much of it is non-functional time for us and how much of it is really, really dark. But realistically, that's just not something we can or are going to be showcasing, at least not often. So you guys do see our functioning time, which a lot of the times is not much of our time. But that's all you see, so it seems like it's always. Anyways, there's that. Announcing who's front. Remember that when we're here, we're in a space where you know that we have D.I.D. and we know that you know that we have D.I.D. And not only that, but almost all of the conversations we're having online are surrounding D.I.D., surrounding trying to help people understand what we're going through, or like they're surrounded with us trying to share our experience. So when something happens with our experience, we're going to verbalize it to be able to bring you guys along with us and to help you understand what's going on. In day-to-day life, we're not always in that kind of teaching mode. We can't be. And there are times when it's just a lot easier to just not announce yourself or to mask or to whatever. And I'll get a little bit more into in a little bit why it can be easier to be ourselves around you guys. Oh my God. Now I'm like stressed that I'm not going to remember to tie that together. Fuck it. Anyways, yeah, in day-to-day life, we don't announce who's front as often as we do here. But not only is that kind of the culture of what we're doing here and what we're talking about here and the purpose of us sharing our experience here. Corey, you're very cute. But also, we know that you guys are going to be asking. So even if someone hasn't asked, if we're like on a live stream and something happens and we switch, we're going to anticipate that someone in the chat probably was wondering if we switched and probably caught on to it and is going to be asking, so we'll let you know. Even if they haven't asked already, it's just kind of a gut like, oh yeah, we need to let you know what just happened because people are wondering. Another thing that's a little bit different between online and real life D.I.D. And I'm going to use our headmate Roxy as an example of this, that like she can't express how she feels about things online in the way that she will day to day, because she doesn't front that much. And so the rest of us are the ones who have to, especially Charlie, is the one who runs everything online and who's going to have to clean up people's messes if they make them online. Roxy has a lot of really strong feelings and opinions. If someone says something, she is going to be very likely to want to jump at it if it's something that she doesn't think is okay. We have certain rules and guidelines that she is not allowed to go past online, that in real life, she's going to break those. She's going to do something different if it's in our day-to-day life. But online is its kind of own thing that we have our own rules for, because people on the internet can get so obsessive and can get so nasty and can be so not understanding. And everything online stays online. So if she says something and it's something that we wouldn't have said, people are going to take that and they're going to use that against us. So she has certain rules that she can't break when we're online. And she's pushed those. And maybe someday she will. But those are the kind of system rules we have set up. Whereas in real life, if you said something to her that got her rubbed the wrong way, she would be a lot more herself. And just beyond that, even though y'all recognize that, like, we're a system, there's still a certain continuity that y'all just are probably going to expect from us. Even if you don't expect it from us, we feel like you will expect it from us. So yeah. So connecting back to what I was saying before, in real life, and this is something we notice more and more, you're always at square one with people. That's one of the really incredible things about being online, is that y'all have been with us for a bit. A lot of y'all know us pretty well. And if there's someone new who doesn't know much about D.I.D, we can just direct them to other things we've created. They can go watch those and we can continue on. So we're able to move a lot further with being able to be ourselves and being able to talk to y'all and be open. Whereas conversations with people in real life, unless it's someone who you're like super close to, most of the time it's always starting back at like, so have you heard of dissociative identity disorder? Yes. No. Okay, well, have you heard of multiple personality disorder? Yeah, so it's the same thing, but it was changed in like 94 or whatever because of these reasons and blah, blah, blah. You're always starting from that square one. So that's one of the really incredible things about being online, is we can move past that square one and we can continue on that journey. And we just don't have to always be at the beginning. And because of that, we're able to unmask to a deeper level than we often will default to in day-to-day life, which is why a lot of the times in day-to-day life we won't necessarily announce who's front, because we're in that place of expecting to need to be at square one, and we're still in that, like, we are much more covert in day-to-day life than we are here. We make the choice to unmask while we're here, but the amount of times that we'll switch and we'll just mask, even if we're around people who we're totally comfortable with and we know they wouldn't have an issue, a lot of the times it takes less effort to just stay masked. This is a place where we actively choose to make the effort to unmask and be ourselves with you, because we're trying to show you our lived experiences and talk about what D.I.D is. In our normal life, most of our effort and time isn't focused directly on what D.I.D is. It's just living our life with D.I.D. I don't have much more to say than that. I don't really know a good way to wrap this up, but thank you all for spending time with me. I hope that I've done a good job with this. I don't think I'm as good at this stuff as Charlie is, but I also know that y'all want to hear from more of us, so I hope that you like this video. Take care of yourselves, everyone.